The preview for the next episode of My Sweet Mobster left most viewers anxious for Eun-Ha. After episodes 11 and 12 of sugary lovey-dovey moments, it seems we are in for lovers' angst era in My Sweet Mobster, as Eun-Ha finally finds out that Ji-Hwan is her childhood friend, whom she'd been searching for. Meanwhile, Ji-Hwan is currently on edge after Yang-Hee's visit to Eun-Ha. Someone from Dong-Hee's past, someone related to his deceased girlfriend, left a comment on the video of the dear visit to the orphanage, making Ji-Hwan anxious and on edge about Eun-Ha's safety. Seeing him manhandle Eun-Ha makes him go overboard, losing his cool in front of his staff and Eun-Ha. However, the mystery man was there for Dong-Hee and not Eun-Ha. He must have found out about Dong-Hee's place of work from the orphanage video. What's more, tensions are high, as Ji-Hwan's father seems to be plotting something for his son. You would think that his father would lose his connections and assets after spending a decade in jail. However, it looks like he became stronger and more influential while in jail. He must have achieved this with Yang-Hee, and because of some people in high places he might have worked for in the past. Someone at the prosecutor's office is corrupt and on Tae Pyong's payroll. Just when Hyun-woo was about to uncover the corruption buried in Cat Company, by following the paper trail, the case was transferred by his superior to another district. Ji-Hwan's father had been on the low after his release from prison because some of his men were in jail. However, with their release, he's about to go after his son with all he's got. He's been secretly monitoring Ji-Hwan, Eun-Ha, and the deer. Maybe, despite Ji-Hwan's betrayal in the past, he still hopes that he will be his successor, as he has little regard for Yang-Hee. Seeing Ji-Hwan happy because of Eun-Ha irritates him, as he sees it as childishness, which could eventually put Eun-Ha in danger. I can't help but think that Yang-Hee is up to no good. He must have a reason for asking Gang-gil not to disclose to Tae Pyong that Ji-Hwan was behind their drug burst. What's more, Ji-Hwan and Eun-Ha had their sweet moments in the last episode. Ji-Hwan is learning how to love through Eun-Ha. Our big-shoulder gangster skipped work for a day to appease his lady love. Eun-Ha recognizes that Ji-Hwan is rough around the edges, and makes it easy for him to express himself. She easily forgave him and tried to alleviate his fears for her safety. Ji-Hwan trying to show off his masculine arms, just to be gobsmacked by Eun-Ha's beauty, was funny to see. Just when they were about to get into it, they were interrupted by LL Young. What's more, LL Young is fighting for his lady love. Who knew he had this side to him? We must give it to Miho. She's different from the typical female characters in kdrama. She's straightforward and vulnerable with IL Young. It's so refreshing to see her admit that while she has feelings for him and doesn't regret what she did, she's not going to chase after someone who doesn't want her. She knows her worth and is not afraid to be alone. However, just as Ji-Hwan is rough around the edges, LL Young is clueless when it comes to his love life. I like how he hasn't mentioned the baby to Miho but is waiting for her to confide in him. Meanwhile, Hyun-woo is beginning to realize there's more to the drug case and Ji-Hwan's father. However, he has no intention of backing out. Seeing Eun-Ha's video on Yang-Hee's phone made him lose his cool. This might make the sly Yang-Hee realize that Hyun-woo also has feelings for Eun-Ha. After seeing the video, Hyun-woo realizes that Eun-Ha could be in danger. He can be seen asking Ji-Hwan for help. I'm inclined to think that this is the only way they can beat Yang-Hee and Tae Pyong, by joining forces. What's more, Eun-Ha made her feelings for Ji-Hwan known in the recently concluded episode. But I can't help but think her feelings stem from Ji-Hwan saving her when she needed saving. It might not be love but gratitude. I still think she fits more with Yang-Hee, who was the only one to notice her bleeding feet. Meanwhile, Ji-Hwan made it clear that his heart has, and will always belong to Eun-Ha. He finally opened up to Eun-Ha about his past. The viewers finally know what happened to him the night he was abducted while trying to save Eun-Ha. After his mother's death, he gave up on his dreams of becoming a prosecutor and joined his father's gang. Eun-Ha's understanding and encouragement to keep being better shows the depth of her heart and love for him. After betraying his father, Ji-Hwan tries to avoid anything that would take him back to the gangster life. However, the threat to Eun-Ha's life could push him too far. His old self showed itself when Yang-Hee visited Eun-Ha, and when the stranger manhandled Eun-Ha at the end of the recently concluded episode. Finding out that Yang-Hee and his father are keeping tabs on Eun-Ha worries him. Because of this, he finally pays a visit to his estranged father. However, his declaration of being different from his father will not sit well with him. Meanwhile, Eun-Ha has been noticing some similarities between her childhood friend Hyun-Woo and Ji-Hwan. When Ji-Hwan ties her hair just as Hyun-Woo used to in the past, she becomes confused. Having a weird feeling about it, she meets with Hyun-Woo to know Hyun-Woo's identity. LL Young tries to warn Ji-Hwan about the implications if Eun-Ha finds out about their shared past without him disclosing it first. However, it was too late, as Hyun-Woo disclosed the truth to Eun-Ha. Finally, Ji-Hwan and Eun-Ha tearfully meet one another as Eun-Ha and Hyun-Woo, two childhood friends. Hopefully, this strengthens their bond, and does not cause the usual lovers' angst seen in most Korean dramas. Meanwhile, Ji-Hwan's father visits his company with his gang, and chaos erupts. Maybe, he's trying to prove to Ji-Hwan that he's just like him. He knows that Eun-Ha is Ji-Hwan's weakness. Eun-Ha can be seen attacked by one of Tae Pyong's men in the preview for the next episode. This is bound to unleash Ji-Hwan's fury. Despite all these, our favorite gangster couple still has some lovey-dovey moments in their future. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious are you for the next episode? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked this content, give it a like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for all things wonderfully K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.